All right, so YouTube's playing games again right now. It's telling me the stream is not capable, but it's also allowing me to go live. So, chat, let me know what's up. Y'all can see and hear me, right? It looks all good. It's telling me that it's not working. No, I got excellent connection here. I got no connection. Sorry, try again here. Anyways, it looks like we're good. What's up, y'all? Long time no see. Not really, assuming you hung out with us earlier when we played Apex Legends. Fun fact, some of you already know from the Discord, we actually got a win like right after stream. I don't think it was the next game. I think we played 2 games, but we did get one. So we dropped an SIR over in the chat at the Discord. And by the way, if you have not already joined us on our Discord, it'd be lovely to see more of you over there. Some days are busier than others. There's sometimes some confusion of what's acceptable there too, but ultimately it's a pretty safe, fun place to be, and we'd love to see more people over there. So if you haven't already, just request a link, and I'm sure either myself or the mods will drop it like it's hot in the chat. I see more people funneling in. That's good to see you. Good to see you. As per usual, this is a game break. We've already done kind of our hellos in the premiere or the pre-launch of the stream. And I will kind of address people as they come in. But most of you already been addressed and said hi to me and back and forth. So, yeah, it's been a month. Not a lot has gone on. And I do expect this game break to be roughly 45, 60 minutes. I'll probably get to talking and maybe go over that. But ultimately, I've got sort of a plan. And that's sort of the goal. It's also when I told the wife to go get food, which will be accompanied by some adult beverages. Pretty excited about that. That all aside, good to see you. Welcome back. See, yep, there we go. There we go. Let's talk some YouTube stats real quick and get this show rolling. As you can see, our sub base is actually down quite a bit. We were getting higher momentum, roughly 15 to 1,700 in a 28-day period, but that's dropped a little bit. And it's likely due to the fact that there hasn't been any new Lego stuff in a while. Now, I stretched out Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga, way longer than most. So we did have new sort of Lego stuff going up, but I mean, most of the people that were interested in that, you know, used what they could and then probably moved on to some other things. So with some new stuff coming up in the future, we're hoping to see that pick up a little bit. Overall, our views were a little bit lower than, say, last month, but you can see we got the green check mark sort of indicating that we're kind of right on our expectations. So just a bit over that 750,000 views. And watch time was down just a little bit, and that might be because I missed a day or two in the month. So hopefully, as we pick things up moving forward, you're going to see more content, more opportunities to watch, and all of those will likely go up a wee bit. So, you know, ultimately feeling pretty good about all that stuff. Let me double check my Twitter button here, make sure that we're good to go. And I'm going to go ahead and launch that because I know Ben's screaming out from the mountaintops. Twitter! That's officially out. So yeah, 186,000. We did hit the 186K. I believe it was right at the beginning of the month or maybe the last day of last month. So, you know, we've been pushing through and we're likely going to see 200,000 before we know it. I see Jonathan's out there. What up, Cheesy? So yeah. Hey, by the way, Jonathan, Reese was telling us, I think you may have been on the mic and her, but Reese was telling us about how you went and dropped CC off the other night with Callan and Reese after, I think it was after bowling. We don't need to go into details, but that was hilarious. And if he hasn't told you the story about me, which inspired that, you should ask him about it. I'm sure he'd love to tell you. Let's see here. Looks like Justin's there. What up? Hey, oh, it's Ryder. I don't have a phone. My dad is driving me. Okay, cool. What up, Ryder? Good to see you. Well, good to, you know, you see me. I can't see you, but you know what I'm saying. Let's see here. Ben is not here. Brian saying, yeah, I got it. It's out. We're good. So yeah, ultimately feeling okay. It wasn't the worst month, wasn't the best month either, but ultimately, you know, in the YouTube world, a lot of it sometimes is effort being put in is usually, you know, seen and you reap the rewards of that. I've been sort of lazy the last month or so after basically the Lego Star Wars and streaming and a couple of other things. I just needed a little bit of a break, kind of a creator burnout almost. I'm getting ready to jump back on, though. I've got a couple of projects that I'm excited to get into. And then, of course, we've got Lego 2K Drive, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So we'll go ahead and drop those out of here. Now, real quick, I did want to share this with you. Some of you have already seen this. Some of you may not find this cool or entertaining at all, but to be honest with you, I thought this was pretty epic. And it's sort of like a not the greatest picture ever, but there's a reason for it. Are you guys familiar with movies? This is a Kevin Smith created product. Basically, in movies, they can't always use like McDonald's or whatever, right? And so they came up with movies as their sort of restaurant or fast food restaurant that they could utilize in a couple of their different movies. And they actually created some cereal. So this is the movies. It's basically Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's called Cinnamooby Munch or Cinnamooby Crunch. What makes this really cool, though, is if you see kind of on the left side there, there's some scribblies there. That's actually Kevin Smith's signature. And then over on the high right, sort of on the ear here, you can see there's a J and a snooch, which is Jason Mewes. Pretty cool stuff. We got two of them. Now, like I said, it's not the greatest photo. The reason is they came packaged in this protective wrap, and we figured we're not going to eat it. I got it for collector's purposes. So I just went ahead and left it in there. We put the box back into our storage, into our Harry Potter area under the stairs, and it's nice and safe under there. But that was kind of a cool thing. Like I said, not everybody understands, what that is or what that means to me. Kevin Smith's been one of my favorite, directors and writers for many, many, many years. And sadly, the person who introduced me to him passed away quite a few years ago. In fact, it's been about 10 years ago now. And so anyways, there's some sentimental stuff there because of that. And he was one of my best friends. And sadly, we sort of went different directions for a couple of years. And unfortunately, it ended way sooner than we ever could have imagined. So, that all being said, like, I love Kevin Smith. In fact, wifey and I are planning on okay, this is crazy. Okay. GC, what's up? I see you. Welcome to the stream. We might be doing this crazy trip. The details are not worked out yet, and it may not happen. It likely will depend on if we end up making a push for that house or not. If we don't make a push for that house, we're probably going to fly to sort of like Northeast USA, particularly New Jersey. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. I should be ashamed. Sorry if anybody lives in New Jersey. The comic book shop that's owned by Jay and Silent Bob, which is called Jay and Silent Bob Comic, or no, what is it? It's The Stash. Jay and Silent Bob's The Stash. They have a really cool comic shop. They had a whole series of shows called Comic Book Men that they recorded there. I've always wanted to go there. Now, another reason that we would go for that region is that my brother-in-law actually lives up there. So the thought was we'd potentially fly there, get to go to the comic book shop, hopefully get to meet people that work there, like anybody, Walt Flanagan or, Michael Zapsik or, Ming Chang or any of the people that are on the show that supposedly work there. It would be great to see those guys. Likely that we wouldn't see any of them, but still would be cool to go check that out. Now, see my brother-in-law there. And then we thought, I've got some friends in South Carolina. Dougie is in Georgia. And then I've got Paz, and there's a couple others. Teflon and some others live down there too. I mean, Paz is one of my lifelong friends, though. I've been friends with Paz for 20 plus years. We've never been in the same room at the same time, so that would be pretty epic. My other friend that lives in South Carolina, I haven't seen him in probably 7 or 8 years. He's sort of like a brother from another mother, though, you know what I mean? And, I talk about him all the time. His name is Patrick. He's a radio VJ or DJ, I guess, because he's not doing the videos. But, super, super cool idea. So we're not sure if we're going to bounce down via plane rides or if we're going to fly to New Jersey and then drive south. What's up, Martian King? Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. No, Rainbow Steve, what's up? Lego Pirates. Oh, nice. That's actually, I don't know if there was a sale on Lego Pirates or what, but there has been a huge uptick in views and comments, specifically comments, in Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, Lego Harry Potter is always at the top. It's always, top 2, top 3 videos. It just plows attention all the time. But lately we've been seeing a lot of pirates as well. So that's good. It's one of my favorite ones. If they're going to do some remastering, I'd love to see that one get remastered, right? So, all right, moving along. This right here, this is actually crazy because next month, in about 5 days from now, no, I take that back. It's about 35 days because it was May, I think May 5th. May 4th or 5th, I ordered a set from Lego.com, but it was actually a set. Well, here, I'll just show you. Maybe you've heard of Bricklink before. Bricklink actually has some sets that are created by users that get upvoted enough that become official sets, but they're not Lego sets. They're Bricklink sets. And a lot of people go, oh, that's not Lego. Well, technically, Bricklink got bought by Lego about a year and a half ago. So all of this stuff is all there. When I bought this, I actually got Lego VIP points. It was tracked all through Lego.com. So anybody who thinks that Bricklink isn't directly related to Lego needs to update their information because it's certainly definitely connected. Now, this set right here is special because it actually only has 10,000 units that have been made and shipped. So only 10,000 people in the world, that's right, across the globe, have this set, and I happen to have one of them. Now, what makes it really cool too is that it pops open. Like, look at that. It's like a real legit 50s diner. It's got the checkerboard floors. It's got a jukebox in the corner. It's got the old, the pink and white Cadillac, right? It's got some gas, a pump for out front. I think that's what that is, right? I think that's what that is. But it's pretty awesome. I was pretty pleased with this overall set, and it is a gas pump there. We can see it from the front side. Just the overall vibe and feel of this is great. Now, here's what's crazy too. I don't recommend this for everybody, but over the last 10 years or so, I found myself becoming more and more of a Lego collector / investor. So there's definitely sets that we've bought for purchase for just like having building fun. We got lots of stuff around the house, sunflowers and different things, right? That the wife and I have built together, Reese and I have built together. We've got lots of cool stuff. But we also keep a lot of it boxed up and we keep it stored away, safe from vermin, any kind of smoke damage from my cooking sessions or, any of that. So ultimately, we've got a pretty large collection we've been investing in, and it's getting to a point where we're going to start releasing some of our sets. Now, this one in particular, I just got it, right? But I ordered it almost a year ago. We're about 30 days away from it being a full year since I ordered it. Now, the Bricklink sets, because of the way they're ordered and processed, only 10,000 of them got made, but they had to hit that quota, which they hit in like 5 minutes. But then they capped it off at that, and they don't plan on running that anymore. So this set's already become sort of retired, and even though it just shipped, some people don't even have theirs yet. It's like officially retired. And I paid $129 for it, and the set is already selling on eBay and all sorts of places for like $250, $300. So there's definitely some money to be made in Lego, but I'm going to back up again and just sort of repeat what I was saying. It's not for everybody. Not everybody has extra money laying around. I certainly don't have lots, but over the years, like we'll spend, like tonight, for example, there's new sets that go live at midnight or 9 p.m. West Coast. And at 9 p.m., I'm going to be buying a couple of sets that I think will gain value over time. Like, for example, I bought the Wall-E sets, right? I've got 2 Wall-E sets, unopened, prestige boxes. No dents, no dings, no smells. Good to go. I think I paid $60 for those sets. They're selling for like $200. I've seen them for $300 on eBay. So it's sort of pennies on dollars, right? Like, nobody's going to get rich overnight. One set isn't likely going to make you a mass amount of money. It's return on investment that is a numbers game, just like a lot of things I do, like this with like YouTube, with my views and ads and all that stuff. Like, you guys skip the ads, which is cool. I skip a lot of ads when I'm watching stuff too, but that's just a fraction of an ad view. And it takes like multiple people skipping ads to get one sort of impression, as they call it, that then becomes, monetizable. And so it's a numbers game. So the more you get into it, the more likely you are to have a chance at a return on investment that's positive. But there's a lot of stuff out there that's bad investment. I've seen people go buy tons of stuff, like carts full of things that don't really have a long-term expectation. And it's hard to guess and know what's what, but I buy 2 or 3 of each and then I just let it go. So I never spend too much. Like tonight, I'll probably buy 2, maybe 3 if they'll let me, up houses, which Let me check again and make sure they haven't gone live since I went live. Yeah, they're $59.99 right now. It's an amazing set. It's number 43217. It's so cool. It's 600 pieces, comes with multiple minifigs, which that's something I found out too. A lot of times, sometimes the sets themselves aren't worth as much as some of the pieces that are individual. So like I've got Lego Scooby-Doo stuff. I got duplicates of all the sets. I've even got one that's opened of the Mystery Mansion, and it came with a Velma. Now, apparently that Velma minifig, I think I paid $129 for the entire set way back when. I think it's out for like $250, $300 for the, but the minifig of Velma is selling for $120 plus for one minifig. And it's likely related to the fact that that show came out on HBO and more people want them and blah, blah, blah. What up, Greg? I see you showing up there. So yeah, definitely fun stuff. Pretty excited about that Bricklink set because, you know, I'm a big Lego guy, and that's kind of one of my, like, I've been really successful the last couple of years with online purchasing, like PlayStation 5s, for example, or even Xboxes. When I've had to get into those queues and try to beat out people, my methods worked, and the same rules applied to that Lego set, which allowed me to get one. So I should have bought two. I didn't even think about it. I should have bought two. And if I'm being honest, when I ordered it last year, I think I just bought a bunch of Lego and I was like, man, I shouldn't even order this. I should only order one. But I wasn't realizing too that it wasn't going to bill me until the following year in April, because I just got charged this month for it. I see Brad showing up. What up? Dr. Phil's here too. What's up? Ooh, Brian D's here too. What up? Let's see here. I'm going to crack a can, so plug your ears. 3, 2, 1. All right. So, yeah, next up, you know, if you haven't seen it already, you've probably been living under a rock, but I do want to show something real quick, and then I want to talk about it a little bit too. So let's go ahead and jump in.
What do you say, Hotshot? Are you ready for greatness?
All right, so 2K Drive. A lot of people are sort of skeptical about the fact that this game is not being developed by TT Games, which is sort of the usual developer behind most of the Lego experiences. I'm not worried about it at all, you guys. I know some people are trying to compare other games, other experiences, and other things. It's not going to be the same. There may be some hiccups. I'm not saying that or guaranteeing this game's going to be perfect or everything you want it to be, but there's a lot of fun to be had in this game. And so far we know a couple of more things since we did our like sort of intro or trailer release. And essentially the races are going to be very much Mario Kart-esque. So there's going to be like objects that you can pick up and potentially shoot and defend yourself and do things with. So I'm looking forward to more on that. There's been a handful of creators that have got their hands on the game, but as per usual, I'm doing my best to stay away to avoid not trailers, but to avoid spoilers of things that I'm not ready for yet. I like that surprise element. I like to, you know, and plus we'll see. We're looking forward to the trophy/achievement list too. Once we get our hands on that, we'll have a better idea of what the guide would potentially look like and if we're even going to do one. There's been some Lego games released in the last year or so that haven't really needed a guide. For example, Bricktales, right? Fun game. Could potentially have some assistance with the builds themselves, but beyond that, the game literally basically plays itself. I mean, and I never finished it for what it's worth. I know that Tyler did. He wrote a full guide for me, but we discussed it, and he was like, it's up to you, but I don't know that it needs it. But he put emphasis on the fact that the one thing that maybe people would enjoy is the builds, because you have to sort of get certain bricks and put them in certain order to like build a bridge or whatever, right? So there were certain moments like that, but I don't know how I would have been able to do that. He was like, oh, I got screenshots, but how I would have been able to, I don't know. Some of the way that builder was, it looked like it was going to take some time to get used to, and I had not spent any time. So we sort of skipped on doing a guide on that, and we might do some, a lot of streams. It looks like it's going to be very much a multiplayer game. So, we potentially have other players, maybe Tood or Kirsten or whoever, right? Like we've got some options as to who the players may be, and it'll be fun to play that. If there are collectibles and things like that, we will try to figure out the best ways to maybe knock those out. If there's a need for a full series, a full guide, then we'll do that. But I'm expecting probably somewhere between 5 and 10 trophy/achievement videos, and then maybe some streams as well. That's my guess, but I haven't seen the list yet. So just know that we are focusing on that, and we're probably not going to start another project before that comes out, because it's only like May 9th, I think is when the release date is. 9th or 19th, I can't remember. It's a 9. But anyways, it's like 35, 40 days away, and I certainly wouldn't have enough time to finish up a full guide between now and then. What game? I just showed you a trailer for a game. Maybe that one, huh, Greg? Huh, Greg? Huh, Greg? Let's see here. Any word about a third indie game yet? No, I have not heard anything about any Lego. In fact, we're due for a Lego TT announcement. We've been getting some information that's supposedly true. Like there was an employee that worked there that made some posts, and a lot of people got that information, screenshotted it before it was deleted. And so there's a lot of speculation about what that means, and so a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's Lego Batman. And that's why there's so much momentum behind the Lego Batman. For a while it was, oh my God, it's Lego Disney. But that was sort of debunked in that whole process of those screenshots and those posts by the Lego TT Games employee. Now, we still don't know if that guy was really an employee. We don't. And you know me, I'm pretty much like, nah, I'm not going to believe it until it's official from the devs. And in this case, we haven't heard anything from TT in a long time. So it could be a revamped version of Lego Harry Potter, which was the most recent sort of rumor that's triggered a bunch of people. So we'll see. I don't know that we need a Lego Harry Potter remake, but at the same time, it is one of my most viewed games. And hey, especially if the collectibles and stuff don't get moved around, but if they're revamping it all like they did with Lego The Skywalker Saga, then obviously a whole new series would have to be made, because those older videos wouldn't apply. So we'll just have to wait and see. We know that a bunch of Lego devs left, and they went and started 1010 Games, and we know they're working on a Funko game, a Pop Funko, with a couple of like pretty big IPs behind them. So we're going to see lots of things that we're familiar with in that Funko verse. How the game will play, I'm assuming it's going to be sort of the same formula as Lego, because these guys have been developing. But at the same time, when you do something for so long and it's the same over and over again, you kind of want to change it. So again, we got to wait and hear from them. But we're due for some announcements, and sadly, E3 was a place that a lot of those announcements would have come out, and E3 has been canceled. Official. Done. Not happening at all. Not even a digital version this year, according to the reports that have come out this week. So I'm hoping that at some point soon we'll have a good show. Like GDC was last week, PAX East was last week. We didn't hear anything from anybody regarding Lego. And a lot of the hype right now is probably going to be focused on Lego's 2K Drive. But once that hits store shelves, I wouldn't be surprised if like end of May, maybe June, we get an update on Lego stuff. And we also are expecting another Lego sports game from 2K as well. It's rumored to be a soccer game, football, depending on where you are. But, be looking for information. And please sort of like try to weed through all the BS, right? Because there's going to be a lot of bad stuff out there. That's what BS stands for, just in case you're wondering. Bad stuff. It's all about Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest. What is that? I'm not sure I'm familiar. Is that a new one? I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Why would there be another Lego Batman? There's 3 of them already. That's a good question, Josh. Well, technically, it is one of the highest selling, I guess, franchises. Now, that might be because there's more of them. Everybody loves Lego DC stuff, right? We love, there's a lot of stories to be told. A lot of content has happened regarding movies and things like that. The rumor I sort of heard was that the focus was going to be on the Batman, like Lego the Batman, right? Because there's Batman, and more recently there's the Batman, right? So, and they have a couple Lego the Batman sets. It's hard to say. I still am rooting for a Lego Lost. The show hasn't been on the air for 15 years, but I'd love to see, even though they were talking about bringing it back, I'd love to see that, but it's probably not going to happen. All right, time to move on. We gotta move on from the Lego stuff. I know that's always popular, but I got a short story to tell you, and I'm gonna share a video with you. There's no audio for this, so I'm gonna be doing the commentary. Sorry, but something pretty cool happened. Some of you sort of know this a little bit. Some of you have heard the whole story, so I apologize, but you're gonna get to see some video to go with it. And I do expect to get a better in-house recording, because there's a bunch of cameras where we were, and there's microphones, and where I was right by a bunch of construction and all that stuff. So there's more to it, but I don't know if I'll show that to you guys in the future or not, but I definitely wanted to talk about this. So, without going too far back, just to give you a little backstory, basically ever since I was a little kid, my grandparents have been a huge part of my life. And when I was 15 years old, I made some bad choices and I got in trouble. And I was put in a situation where I wasn't able to stay with my my parents anymore. So I got shipped out and moved in with my grandparents. And they took good care of me and gave me sort of a reset button, if you will, on some things I was doing, people I was hanging out with and all that. And, so Grandma and Grandpa have always been a huge part of my life. Every summer I'd come and stay 2, 3, 4 weeks of the summer with Grandma and Grandpa. So I knew tons of people in their area, all the neighbors, all the kids that were local. Like I knew a bunch of them. My grandfather was a coach, a high school coach. He was also a counselor at the high school, did work at the high school for over 32 years between golf coach, basketball coach, and counselor. A lot of those overlapped and were a huge part of that. So anyways, Grandpa passed away a couple years back, and obviously we missed the crap out of him. But he grew up in an area that was very small, and he had a huge impact on that area. And so I got a call from my dad last week, and he's like, "Hey, you hear about what's going on Tuesday?" And I was like, "No, it's my day off though. What's up?" And he's like, "Well, your grandfather's being recognized at the state capitol." And I still don't understand or know fully what all this was, but I'm going to roll the video. Here we are actually on the floor of the state capitol. And those are all the senators scattered throughout. We got the big president up there in his nice blue tux, and we've got the court clerk who's standing there in the checkered suit. The gentleman with the Nike shirt on in the bottom left-hand corner with the sort of the gray hair, that's actually my father. And right now the court clerk's actually reading off a list of like 25 different bullet points of things that my grandfather was being recognized for in the community up in the canyon, which is Mill City, Gates, and Staten areas. This was amazingly cool, you guys. There was actually another gentleman that was from the same area that had a similar impact, a coach and a teacher from another school. But my grandfather was way too cool, way too cool. Now, the camera's going to move over to the left a little bit, and there's an older gentleman sitting next to my dad, and then sort of the next guy that you see, it's actually my Uncle Steve, but maybe you won't see him right away. She's still reading. She goes on and on and on and on and on, and eventually I pan over to Fred Gerard, who is a Oregon senator. There he is right there. That's my Uncle John in the blue shirt right to the left of him, and then my Uncle Steve with the bald head on the bottom right there. And Fred Gerard is now starting to talk and explain what, my grandfather Don meant to him and how my grandfather provided all this help and all these things in the community. And he goes on and on and on and on and on. And eventually, of course, whatever the terminology is for this sort of award or recognition, they have to have a vote on the House floor. So they literally went around and asked everybody in there and I'll show you in a minute. It actually pops up and all the votes go up and you can see my grandfather's name on the board and everything. And it was just a really kind of unreal moment, right? Like Grandpa's been gone for a few years. And so this was really cool for him to be recognized. You can see my Uncle John yeah, that a boy. Because turns out Fred, the guy who read that, his parents were big-time people of the canyon as well. And in fact, his mother was actually my grandmother's teacher in school. So their history goes way back. Now, after all that stuff was read, this guy actually asked to speak. We didn't know him. This wasn't planned. And you can see him right now. He's waving 2 fingers. And what he's saying is, out of all that stuff, it was all amazing. But the one thing I can't believe is he only got 2 technical fouls called in 28 years of coaching high school basketball. And they were like, he was like, yeah, okay, sorry, I just had to say that. 2 technical fouls. That's amazing. So he sits back down and it goes back to Fred, and Fred's like, oh, let me tell you about those 2 technical fouls. The first one, he said, oh my God, to a ref. And the ref reacted in a way that gave him a technical foul. The second one, Fred says, oh, he deserved that one. So got a pretty good kick out of that. But it was funnier too, because as the time would go on, they have to take the vote. And they go around and they call out all the senators' names, and each senator says, yes, Fred's getting ready to tell him, okay, the 2 technical fouls right now. And I probably should have sped this up or maybe chopped it down a little bit more. I wasn't sure how long I was going to talk or what I was going to say. But when they go around and they're calling out the names, one of the guys, instead of saying yay or nay, hollered out, oh my God, and immediately was registered as a green up on the board. So she's getting ready to read it right now. And you can see here, essentially, well, I guess I've been looking at the wrong screen, so I'm a little bit off on my timing. But right now, they're counting up all the stuff up top. And yeah, so this was a pretty cool, amazing moment. You can see all those greens. There wasn't one nay, for the record. And again, I don't know what this even really means. In the long run, it's like, you know, Grandpa was pretty awesome, and people are recognizing that. Like, and how lucky I am to be, you know, a descendant of somebody as awesome. But I mean, look at that. All greens. Going green. And yeah, so pretty cool stuff. Anyways, we'll go ahead and pull that down now. You guys get it. It was all green. There wasn't a red on the board. But like, really cool moment. So I got to record that. That was all from my perspective off to the side. Like I said, there was in-house cameras, there was microphones, and it's all supposed to be sent to me. And then we're also getting a parchment, a copy of the resolution, I think is what they called it. I still don't know. And I'd ask my uncle, he'd go, I don't know. I asked my dad, I don't know. Like nobody really knew exactly what was happening. And I made a joke too, because our state capitol has a giant gold man. It's like a 25-foot gold man that stands on top. I said, whoa, they replacing it with a gold dawn? Everybody laughed. At least I did. I don't know if everybody did. All right, so yeah, we've made it through most of what I wanted to talk about regarding Grandpa, movies. We also got Lego Brick Link set. We got Lego 2K Drive. So, Ready Judy, what is up? Grandfather was a wonderful man. He was amazing. He was definitely my hero. And like I said, I was pretty lucky to not only have him as my grandfather, but he was like my second dad, my dad for a long time. And so pretty awesome. I see Snoop Dogg comment, or Snoop Doug, sorry. I also want to say thank you for making your Lego videos, helping me clear. Nice. Hey, glad we could help out. Thanks for stopping by today. Sorry, I was a little slow on the recognition there. All right, so you know, I'm getting to a point where I'm gonna kind of kick back and let you guys ask some questions and whatever. But I do want to talk about one more thing. It could be a really big thing. Oh, well, hey, first, let's check this out, too. Don't forget, guys, we also have htgmerch.com. It's back. I just want to throw that out there. It seems like I haven't been talking about it very much, and we have not had any orders placed in the last, I don't know, it's probably been 7 or 10 days since we had one. So I felt that I needed to say something. Check it out. This will be likely one of the places, too, that we will be placing our Lego sets that we do plan on selling. And I see Brian mentions, I saw a Lego Seinfeld set. Yeah, we have one of those. I don't know that I'll be selling that yet because that one hasn't retired yet. Generally, I keep the sets until they retire, and then I wait a little bit longer. And that's sort of when you see the big increases. Handful of the sets I bought in this last year have already increased because the sets are now selling at a higher value than they were when I bought them. So for some reason, about halfway through the year last year, Lego actually bumped up their prices. Something about the cost of production and shipping and everything. So sets that I bought for like $150 are selling for $170. So like just instantly $20 increase in value without having to even wait for them to retire. So some of them work nicely. Some of them are a little bit more long-term. Like those Wallies. I don't remember what year it was that Wally came out. Let's see here. Lego set. Does it say when did the Lego Wally set? It says it was released in 2015 and removed in 2017. So, I mean, at least 2017. So that was at least, 6 years ago. So, I mean, some of them you got to sit on for a while. They're not overnight things, and they're certainly not instant making you rich kind of things either. But, all right. So the last thing I wanted to talk about before we get to Patreon and stuff is, we've been saving money for a while, and we've been back and forth about what we're going to do. So we've got a nice house here. It's basically set up for dual living. We share a kitchen, but I mean, we got bathroom and rooms and a wall that separates and all that stuff, which isn't really needed because it's just my mother-in-law that's here, and she's actually on vacation quite often. So she's been gone for the last month, three and a half weeks or so. She just got back from Hawaii. So, I mean, but she's getting to a point in her life where, she doesn't have a husband or a wife that takes care of her or hangs out. So we are kind of like her safety net in a way. And, she's provided a nice arrangement for us for 20 years. So we're happy to sort of reciprocate that. So we've had all sorts of things talked about, like just, blowing up some of the rooms here, remodeling and making it a little bit bigger. Because we've got rooms, but we've got a lot of stuff, and I don't have an office, but I should. And so, there's things like that, right? So we're trying to figure out how we can shuffle things around and whatnot. And if that doesn't work out, then we've been, kind of looking for a house. And the house should have some property or potentially a dual living situation, a mother-in-law house. They have those sort of like separate living quarters that's right there, like a guest house, if you will. So we've been looking for stuff like that. And for the most part, most of those are like $1 million. Where we live in Oregon is pretty pricey. You go like Texas, Indiana, Ohio, housing gets a lot more affordable than it is, at least currently, in Oregon. But we don't really want to leave Oregon, and my wife won't go to some of those places. Not even, she's like, if you're moving there, you ain't moving with me. So, and I'm not set on anywhere. If I have air conditioning and internet, and I mean, that's really the two main things that I would really want and need, then I'm good. I can usually make other things work. But we actually stumbled across this house probably 6 months ago. My wife found it. She was telling me all about it, and I wasn't really interested in living there because partially one of the things I told her when we started looking was I am not living in a house with a gravel driveway. No, we are not getting a gravel driveway. I'm not driving my nice car that I want to wash and keep clean. I'm not driving down a gravel driveway. I'm not doing it. And so this one, she presented it to me. She was like, well, it's in a city that you probably don't want to live, and it's got a gravel driveway for the shop and some of the back stuff. But it has, parking up front too. So you wouldn't have to if you didn't want to, but there isn't a garage up front. If you got to drive. So I was like, nope, told you no gravel driveways. And it was out of our price range. And the thought always was too that like if we move and buy a house, it's likely gonna be that this house will be sold and that Muffy would come and sort of follow us to the next house. Muffy is my mother-in-law, if you haven't heard that before. And Brian, I see you have a question here. I'll get to that in a hot second. So this house has like a pool house, a separate house that's like got like a bedroom. It's nice. I mean, with a little kitchenette added in there, it could be like a standalone studio kind of, but not even a studio because it's got multiple rooms. Got a bathroom, got a bedroom. It's pretty awesome. It's also got a pool. Obviously, a pool house should have a pool, so there's a pool there, which is unexpected. I'm not super keen on pools, especially in Oregon, because it's really wet and gross all the time here. Lots of cleaning. And then it's got a huge shop in the back, which I would love to have for, doing all sorts of projects and things. With Reese being around, we've talked about like maybe getting into vinyl wrapping because that's something that he's interested in. And if we had a shop back there, he could potentially do jobs. I could potentially do jobs. So there's lots of possibilities with this house. The house has been fully remodeled. It was built in 1965, but it's been fully redone, fully modernized. And it's actually way nice. Like I wouldn't know what to do if I lived. I would like, don't touch that. Don't hang that there. Take your shoes off. Like, don't eat outside the kitchen. Like I would be It'd be a mess because I like to preserve and keep things pristine, and I got a teenager, so it wouldn't necessarily be that way. But the house isn't too far out of our price range, but it actually was removed, so she ended up not even talking about it. Come to find out, it's been relisted again, and it's a lot cheaper than it was. Still on the high end, and right now interest rates are through the roof. They're like 7.9% or something like that. 8.9. It's ridiculously high. So it's a terrible time to take a loan out, especially of that caliber. We're talking $500,000-$600,000. So we're not sure. We were supposed to go to an open house on Wednesday, but my mother-in-law was supposed to be back on Tuesday, but that changed to Thursday. So she didn't get home till yesterday. We didn't want to go to the house and see it without her being there, because it doesn't, we're not going to buy it without her. If she's interested in joining us there, then it opens up some doors. If she doesn't like the setup, the pictures, she's like, oh yeah, that looks perfect, and she's like, you got 4 bedrooms in that house. As long as you guys don't mind me living in one of those rooms for a few months while I get the remodeling done and get the kitchenette and whatever else I'm going to add. We're like, no, that's fine. So we've had all these preliminary talks about it, and it all sounds great, but we still don't know what's going to happen. There is an open house tomorrow, and there is a high possibility that we're going to go there and check it out. Again, it's still on the high end of our price. And, I had a long talk with my dad, and my dad sort of, I don't know. I've never bought a house before, so I don't know what the crap I'm doing. There are some things like first-time homeowners. There's like a federal thing, and there's a state thing. And so there's potentially $30,000 that could be sort of granted, I don't know what the right word is, that could certainly help us with down payment status and things like that. But we're not sure if that's the one or the place. And so we're going to wait and see, but we're likely going to go see it tomorrow, and then, start maybe getting some of those wheels turned, because we don't have a realtor. We haven't been pre-approved. We haven't talked to a bank. We haven't done any of that. Now, looking at crunching some numbers, there's no way that if the interest rates are what they are now, and if there's no way. I mean, some of the calculations I've put out there are like $4,000 a month for a house payment. No, not happening. So, then it comes back to okay, well, so what can we do here? We've got a chunk of money. We could certainly borrow a little bit extra from the bank if we needed, more. And we could do a full remodel and make this place, bad arse. Not that it isn't already. I like majority of the setup we have, but having a little bit more room for me. We've talked about blowing this out and putting redoing an office and a bathroom and stuff up here. But then my mother-in-law was kind of like, well, I would rather just blow out Reese's room, make it bigger, and then move Reese to one of the rooms upstairs and move you guys over to the master bedroom on the other side of the house. And then she'd be ground floor, which, you're getting in your mid to late 70s. You broke a foot recently. You probably don't want to be on stairs the rest of your old times, right? So getting her down on the ground floor. So there's definitely, it's all up in the air. We have no idea what is going to be the right decision and what's going to make everybody happy. Ultimately, I'm pretty easy to please. So as long as the wife and the mother-in-law are having their needs met, and it's not breaking the bank to do it, I'm all for it. Whether it means this house, different house, remodeling, whatever. So yeah. All right. So Brian P has asked me, I have a big question. If I get a PS5, can I transfer my PS4 saves from my games onto the PS5? Can I still continue to play my PS4 games, save from my PS4? Yeah, you should have no problem with that. There are likely going to be a few games that you might have some trouble with, but if you have PlayStation, if you have the PS Plus and you have the cloud saving, then yeah, everything, you just want to make sure that from your PS4, especially if you're trading in the PS4 to get the PS5, you're going to want to make sure that everything you want game save data wise is uploaded to the cloud. You don't necessarily need the game utility data, which is more like the install files for the game. But, and yeah, there are ways too, Brian, that I've seen that you can take an external hard drive and you can basically back everything up onto that hard drive, and then you unplug it from the PS4 and then plug it into the PS5, and then it sort of knows what to do with it, or you tell it what to do, and it sorts through. Me personally, when I did it, I made sure all of my saves were online, so I just uploaded all the games. And there was plenty of like old Lego games that I 100%ed that I didn't need. So I just made sure the games that I was actively playing or maybe down the road would want to return to, and I uploaded all those to the cloud, and then I got on my PS5, obviously logged into the same account, and then was able to just access my saves via the cloud. And then I had to re-download the games onto my PS5. So it's kind of like you get to pick or choose. Like, do you want to like spend an eternity saving and copying all that data, like the game save and the game utility data, onto an external, to then move it from that external over to your 5, which can take a heck of a long time? Or do you want to just blast that and then read down? A lot of it will depend on your internet speed too. Like, not trying to poo-poo on the Tude, but Tude, for example, has pretty slow internet. It's no secret that he's had some issues with that. In his case, it's probably faster to transfer that game utility data, like so all the install files and the game saves, to an external than, because in some cases those games are, 50, 100 gigabytes each. And 50 to 100 gigabytes downloading is going to take way longer for him than it would to transfer that data. So keep that in mind, but ultimately it's user choice. If you got speedy internet, I would just upload your save files and then download the games and the save again on the PS5. But if you got crappy internet, I would definitely consider getting like a 2 terabyte hard drive that you can transfer. So one costs you money, one is free. Technically 2, right? Because if you don't have that hard drive, you got to go buy a hard drive. Otherwise, you can just re-download them from the cloud and the PlayStation. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you're still here. I know it's been a few minutes since you asked. Let's see here. Make on some says, I love the Lego games walkthrough for the play. Hey, awesome. Glad we could help out. Thanks for stopping by. Can you come by to my house? Well, Teflon, you might have missed it earlier. We were talked about potentially making a East Coast trip where we were going to fly out east and then drive south, and Florida was the end destination. It would have been Okeechobee, probably Orlando's where we'd probably end up. I can't remember exactly where you are. I want to say you're in Orlando, but we're right by it. Possible. Yeah, no, definitely, Brian. Glad I could help out. Just know that, yes, you can. There is sort of a 99% rate of PS4 games being able to be played on the PS5. So there's a couple of them that for some reason don't work, or I don't know. I don't think I've ever ran into one of those. But that it is a possibility. So just be aware of that. But for the most part, yeah, 99% is a pretty high percentage. So, all right. Any other questions out there for me? I don't have a current stream schedule for you guys because I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. We're going to likely be losing the Tude man for a few months unless his internet gets upgraded, which they're working on. They're bringing fiber cable and doing some other stuff, which should really improve his internet situation. But right now, with summer being right around the corner, his family's going to be home. So his wife works for the school district. He's got 4 kids. So all 5 of them, including him, are going to be home. The internet does not have enough juice to let them all on the loose. So Tude will likely be stepping down. Now, there may be a day a week that we see him, but I got to figure some of those things out because I got a schedule here of a bunch of games that I'm interested in. Minecraft Legends actually comes out in about 2.5 weeks. We're going to be checking that out on the Xbox because it will be part of the Game Pass day 1. So if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass and you have a PlayStation and you have PS Plus, I would definitely look into playing the Xbox side because it's going to be free. Or at least not free. It'll be part of your subscription. Dead Island 2 comes out 2 days after that on 4/20. So another multiplayer game that I would normally want to see people and play with people and not interchanging, right? Like the same group is always preferable, but I don't know who's going to have it, what's going to be available. I may be on my own on that one. Jedi Survivor comes out 4/27, but as I've already mentioned, I'm probably going to be waiting a little bit in order to wait for the price drop on that. I don't know why, but whenever I play a brand new game, especially even exclusives, this isn't one of them, but like I look back to a handful of games, honestly, on PS5. Right when it first came out, PS5s were almost impossible to get. The games were exclusive to the PS. Nobody wanted to watch any of those. So I find that I have better luck waiting a little bit so that people kind of have a better understanding, idea, feel that a lot of people avoid it for spoilers. They want to play it themselves. They don't want to watch me play it. People want to play it and then come back and tell me what to do or what I'm doing wrong, right? Like, just use the push force. Just use the push force. What up, quick brick? I see you sliding in here. Looking forward to, yes, we had a big segment about that already. Yes, am I concerned about microtransactions? No, not at all. There are a lot of games that I play, and I have zero money spent on any of them, and I've enjoyed, like Apex Legends, for example. Fortnite's another one. Like, there's a lot of people that have actually come at me or come at the internet and been like, I'm not playing Lego 2K Drive because it's got microtransactions. I would never play a game that's got microtransactions. Not saying you are, but I've seen that a lot on the internet, and I just scratch my head and go, if you don't want to pay for stuff, then don't pay for stuff. Like, if it's going to be pay to win, then the game will get crapped on by the internet and they will have to make a choice and change it or shut it down or they'll be canceled. That's just the way it works. So, people are like, I can't believe a Lego game for kids is going to look at Fortnite. Fortnite's like the most expensive microtransaction game in the history of games, right? Skins cost $20-$40 for a outfit, 20 or 40 bucks. For me, no, that's not a thing at all. I'm not worried about it. I spent $10 on Apex Legends in like season 2 or 3. Since then, I've been able to play through the battle pass and recoup my money every year, like season. And each time the next season comes, I have enough reaccrued money. If my brain will work and my mouth will spit that out properly. I've spent $10 on Apex. And if I have to buy a battle pass or some sort of season pass for 2K Drive, and it's something that will be replenished as I complete and play the game, like basically reward me for playing it by paying, and then that's fine. I have no problem with that. So, so that's kind of my rebuttal. And like, I almost made a video on it the other day, but as you probably have noticed, I'm not real big on like the rumor videos or the reaction videos or any of that. There's plenty of people out there doing that. And the few that I have done don't necessarily get very, very viewed. So I choose to not do those. But ultimately, no, I'm very excited for it. I'm not worried about the money stuff. And I mean, I could eat my words in a month and a half when it comes out. And it may be the worst decision ever. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not worried about 2K, none of that. It's all great. The game looks amazing. I'm bummed out that I haven't had a chance to get a little bit more hands-on because I know a few creators have. But I'm actually going to, on Monday, I'm going to reach out to my my sponsor, who has been Warner Brothers, but they're not directly Warner Brothers. So basically, they're hired by WB, and they do not all, but a lot of their PR and stuff. And so I'm going to reach out to my contact there, who's their Lego person, and just say if they have anything on that at all. And if not, then I'm going to start putting some pressure on like Take-Two and 2K and see if maybe I can get it. I'm not an X maker, so I don't get automatic content there. But I am on the list. So hopefully when the next round comes around, and maybe it'll be soon. But yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. It looks pretty fun. One of the other games that I'm looking forward to, so it is the 19th, 5/19. Diablo 4 was one of the last games that I have a date for that I'm sort of excited. This in the near month or two. I actually played the beta with Toot over the weekend, and it was a lot of fun. I've always been a fan of top-down games. I've never really gotten into like the dungeon crawler stuff. A lot of it's because of the RPG elements of it that sort of turned me off. But I played the crap out of it and I loved it. And so I'm gonna have to work on some terminology. I think I shared it with some of you guys. I am. How do I put this? So there is a move that the Necromancer character does that he like uses magic to sort of suck the soul out of the bad guy. And that got really inappropriate really fast with Toot and I, let me tell you. So So we're gonna have to work out some terminology and figure out if that's actually gonna make it into the stream or not. But that's what we're looking forward to. We've got a nice horizon of games. I'm looking for as soon as RE4 goes on its first sale, I will likely buy it. It has done phenomenally financially, so I don't think they're gonna stretch out the money. I mean, RE's traditionally fairly expensive for a while, but I'm hoping that they'll do sort of like a we kicked some major butt with our release, so we're gonna go ahead and drop it, which always pisses the people off that bought it earlier pre-ordered. But I'm definitely gonna jump on it in the first wave of discounts, and whether or not I'll bring that to streams or suffer on my own. As you guys know, that's one of my favorite Resident Evil stories. I don't think I ever beat it. I played it on I'm sure it was the Wii, because I remember holding it was just problematic and I hated it. And then I ended up getting it for the PS3, and I think that's where I played the most of it actually. But I've had it on a couple different systems and never finished it. But hopefully in the future, hopefully. Let's see here. I got a couple comments here. Give me that Battlefront. Yeah, definitely not pay to win stuff. I don't, I don't know how that would be possible in this day and age. Battlefront 2 caught so much crap for that. I just don't see that being a possibility. Yeah, and I've heard there's multiple coin currencies too. There's like a couple of different ones. So it'll be all right. We'll see. We'll see. Josh, absolutely fun games on the Wii and the Wii U. The Wii was really cool. I waited in line with Reese when he was like 4 years old to get a Wii whenever they came out. And we played a lot of the Wii in the early days. But this got old, and I'm old, and I don't want to be dancing around doing that crap anymore. So you don't usually catch me doing that these days. Wii U, I never got. I wanted to get it for a couple of games, but I never got it. It's the one Nintendo that sort of slipped by me. I've got DS's, 3DS, 3D. I got so many like handhelds of Game Boy. I got, had GameCube, got a 64. I had NES, Super NES. Like, I mean, I've been through the whole gambit. Like, I can't say that for Sega. Like, I didn't have like Sega CD. I didn't have the Genesis. I didn't have the Master. My neighbor had all those growing up. So like his family bought him and our parents planned that accordingly. Like they got the Sega for them and I got the Nintendo for me. And then we got the best of both worlds, sleepovers and all that stuff. So, miss the Wii, love bowling and tennis. Yeah. Not so much here. Not so much. I miss the memories I created with like Reese and my wife and other people too during those times, but I don't really miss the movement and all that. Like I'm not into VR. Like even if I could handle the motion sickness that I tend to get in my old age, I probably wouldn't play a lot just because of all the movement stuff. Yeah, and the Wii U may be a better console than the Switch power-wise too. Like you may be onto something. And I wouldn't disagree with you on that. Honestly, I wouldn't. When I've played on the Switch, I usually play hooked up on the dock and then I stream. I haven't played much independently. And some like Lego City Undercover, for example. I mean, how long you sat there waiting for like the free roam to load to the next area, and it was like, don't even try loading into the first part of the game. Like I had to do that before the stream started because it would take like 6 or 7 minutes sometimes. It was ridiculous. So I wish, the Switch is great for portability on the go. Like right now, Brian D is in the hospital. Way easier to take a Switch somewhere and play some games than it is a console of anything else. So it does definitely have its benefits. Don't get me wrong. But as far as like if we're doing like a deep dive comparison, I think the Wii U probably had more power and was maybe it's a tough one. That is a tough one. I wouldn't say everybody would go, hey, Ryder's back on his own account. What's up, Ryder? Let's see. Joke on everybody. Yeah. Lots of stick drift. I get stick drift everywhere though. So, all right. So, hey guys, I got Patreon. That's basically the last thing I got. And for the record too, I noticed that a couple of y'all have dropped from the 5 to the 2, but I didn't drop you off the list. So guess what? You're all getting an extra bonus Thumbie shout out. And I looked today and I didn't see anybody new. So these guys right here, you guys are awesome. Going way above and beyond, continuously supporting us. Much love to all these names. These guys are all the $5 and up supporters that we currently have on Patreon. Some of them have been there since day one. And I mean, I don't even want to talk about overall contributions. I mean, some of you may have forgotten. That may be why we're still getting it every month. It's been a minute. It's been years since we've been doing that. And I can't thank you guys enough. So big shout out to all my $5 and up Patreon supporters. And of course, I also have a couple $10 guys left too. Now, this is something I don't really advertise or talk about anymore. So some people don't even know that this exists, especially if you miss the game breaks. You have no idea. Uh-oh, Dad is gifting memberships. Uh-oh, he's going to try to make it rain? Gonna make it rain? Uh-oh, Chacho won't like that. All right, $10 and up Patreon supporters. Number one, we got Dougie Fresh. Doug's been on the talk point today quite a few times. We were talking about him early in the stream. I actually talked about him afterwards when we were playing the Apex after. And then now here he is, still being one of our original contributors to the Patreon. Much love. Uh-oh, yeah, you did lose your membership, Chacho. I'm just seeing that. Today must have been the day, huh? You must have got it on a game break last month. Well, who knows? Maybe. Uh-oh, Teflon likes gifting memberships. Don't get him started. Don't get him started. Next up at the $10 and up, we got Smallville 2011, a.k.a. Harry Potter. Oh, snap, it's Justin with the 10-piece. Let's go. Chacho, you got it, bro. You're back up. Let's see here. We got a few others. Oh, is in there too. All right, we got some of the dailies. Justin, man, that's awesome, bro. Look at that. You're just trying to butter me up so that I for sure answer your phone call tomorrow, huh? And hey, will you have the kiddos, or what's the scoop with that? Are you gonna have Ryder and Ellie, or no? And again, much love, big time shout out to Justin for the 10-piece. Hopefully you guys are as appreciative. Whoa, Lucas, what is this? Love watching. I've watched your so many Lego Batman. Hey, thank you so much, Lucas. Much love. Everybody give a big shout out to Lucas in the chat, and Justin too. And make sure that if you did get one of those memberships gifted to you from Justin, that you spend some time thanking him. Now, hey, I got to get back. I got a couple more $10 Patreon supporters here too. We got Michael Karsberg. Big time shout out to Michael for being a longtime supporter, one of the earliest out there, and still helping us out at the $10 and up. That's awesome, man. Much love to you. And last but not least, at the $10 and up Patreon, we got Bonnie Miller. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for your support. Also, one of the OG day one. So technically, 3 of our 4 remaining Patreon $10 and up supporters were like basically day one, guys. And that was like, I mean, so you guys could do some rough math, $10 a month. I mean, that's been a lot of generosity for sure. So much love to you guys. And of course, this is awesome. You guys making it rain at the end. All right. So honestly, that's all I got for today's stream. We had a nice long Apex stream earlier. Sadly, we didn't pull a win. We got like 4 or 5 second places, a couple thirds. And then of course, as soon as we got done with the stream, we got the win. But yeah, definitely been a fun day, productive week. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm still here. I'm not shutting it down just yet. So if you guys have any other questions, comments, anything like that, let me know. Let's see here. Chacho says, Justin, thank you. You're awesome. Brian, give me a membership, and you're the only 2 that get. I think Hoosier gave you one at 1.2, Chacho. So keep that open, because Hoosier's definitely donated a lot too, which I'm surprised Hoosier isn't here. But that's okay. Real life first. Sometimes things pop up. So let's see here. Go get that free stuff. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. Ooh. I'm smelling some food. Jillian says, food! I just got a message, so I'm pretty sure that means that I got some Wingstop. Hopefully I got some double stack too, which is my it's a delicious beer. It's a stout beer, so very thick, very heavy, very high percentage, 11%, which is almost unheard of in beer. Definitely good stuff. Tastes like pancakes, like maple pancakes. Are you kidding me? So I'm going to be drinking 1 or 2 of those tonight. The Blazers play again tonight. As you guys know, I'm a big Blazer fan. Season has gone way bad long time ago. We're in the bottom of the barrel. There are 30 teams in the league. Portland right now is tied for the 5th worst. Yeah, 5th worst. So hopefully we'll lose again and solidify our place in 5th, because the lower you are, the better chance you have at a higher draft pick when it comes draft time, which they're actually going to be doing the lottery selection. It's like I want to say it's like May 20th or May 19th. It might be the same day that Lego 2K comes out, but it's coming up soon. Stop. I'm sober 43 years now. Hey, everybody's got their own paths. I try not to talk about indulging too much, but I do sort of get carried away when I find a new delicious, scrumptious stout. And let's see here. Michael, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Sliding in right towards the end. And let's see here. Anything else? What? Hey, Justin, what's gonna work better for you, tomorrow or Sunday? I'm asking because I may end up going to the beach for a day trip tomorrow. Long story short, we were supposed to go to the beach yesterday. And I think if you were around earlier in the week, you may have remembered me saying that there was a possibility we were going to do the game break on Thursday. And the reason for that is we were going to go do my mom's and do dog sitting. And then we ended up we got that soil delivered and it got delayed because the truck bed broke in our driveway. And then so we lost a couple of days to that. And then I was telling the wife, well, gosh, we just got all this stuff. How are we when are we going to do this? If we're going to be gone. So we could watch the dog here. Like Reese was going to be here and he can kind of keep track of the dogs while we could do the yard work. So we were just like, let's stay here. Well, my mom called right before the stream started and actually informed us that guess what? The thing that she was going to got canceled again and that we're not watching the dog and she's not leaving. So they're at the coast, but it looks like it's going to be really yucky. So I'm not trying to go to the beach when it's raining like crazy, but we'll see if it's going to end up being all right. If it ends up being a nice day, we might cruise over there for the day. So, if one day is where it's okay. So you're leaving Salem at 1 on Sunday. Okay. Around 3 tomorrow. All right. Well, just, send me a text or whatever and we'll figure it out. And I think your mom's kind of north side of town, right? Like not Best Buy, but like north-ish area, right? I'm sure we can come drop off or whatever. We'll figure it out. And hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Much love to you all. But again, big shout out to Lucas and to Justin for the donos. And it definitely always makes things a little bit extra awesome. And yeah. So wait a minute. I guess I'll accept that Steph Curry avatar picture there. Avatar. No, Steph's actually, the Warriors are probably my go-to. Now that the Blazers are out, I'm kind of probably going to end up rooting for the Warriors again. They're kind of like my backup West team. There's so many teams I don't like in the West. You got players like Dylan Brooks and John Morant doing crazy stuff in Memphis. So I'm not a big fan of Memphis, even though they're pretty good team. I just don't like the Denver Nuggets. Sorry, Ben, and anybody else in that region. I just don't like them. I don't hate them. I have no reason to dislike them, but I can't see myself rooting for them. And the Lakers, don't even get me started on the Lakers. Whew. But yeah, and hey, quick break. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate that. That's pretty cool of you, and it's always fun talking Lego. I know you got some pretty good Lego knowledge and stuff, and it's always fun to hear and see what rumors and things are going around on your side as well. What about the Bulls? Hey, man, the Bulls were my team back in the 80s and the 90s. I love the MJ years. I used to have sweatpants. Oh, it pissed everyone off around here being a Blazer territory, wearing Chicago stuff, especially because there was Blazers versus Bulls. There was even a video game out called Blazers versus Bulls. Look it up. There was definitely a rivalry there for a year or two. So, but yeah, definitely. Look at Josh, LeBron. No, I actually really do like LeBron. It's more of Anthony Davis and a couple of their other guys that I'm not a huge fan of. Like they had what's his name that got traded, and now Patrick Beverly. Listen, he's a good guy to have on your team, but he is one of those guys on the wrong side always. Hey, and Ben's out there. What up, Ben? It's funny. I just shouted you out just a hot second ago. What's up? Actually, I was saying sorry, Ben, because I was clowning on the Denver Nuggets. But yeah. Anyways, hey guys, my food is here. Much love to you all. I hope you guys have a phenomenal weekend. I can't wait to see you on Monday when we're going to take on, hopefully, the end of my career mode in the old Power Wash Sim. Although I got that final pyramid level. I got the triple blaster, though, the triple red So we'll see. We'll see. Again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Much love to you all. If you haven't already, please check out happythumbsgaming.com. We got trophy achievement guides there that I think you guys will find very useful. We also have some older content there that may be fun to check out as well. And Happy Thumbs Gaming merch is available at htgmerch.com. As for me, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it. Again, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you soon. As always, until next time. Swoop!